Hey Planeteers! I'm back with a little Captain Marvel news, specifically about the film Captain Marvel 2, which is scheduled to come out, I think, in 2022, COVID provided. And there was a little news that came out today, none other than some casting news. The actress Zawe Ashton has been cast as a villain for the film. That's all we're told. For those of you who haven't been keeping up, the film, like I said, is scheduled to come out in 2022 or 2023, provided the situation. And let's see, it's going to continue to have like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. We're also going to have Monica Rambeau from the WandaVision film. Not to mention Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan will be appearing straight from her Disney Plus TV series. The director, she's helming the Candyman remake, if she hasn't made it already, is going to be directing it. She is Nina DaCosta, and that's what we have right now. We don't have any specific information about plot or who Ashton is playing, but not quite sure like where we're going. I assume they're not going to make that announcement for quite a while, because I believe it'll be very plot specific. There's several characters that she could be playing, and I kind of like to speculate that. Of course, you know, there's a couple of characters that she could be playing that Carol has, you know, fought with in the past. There's like Moonstone, there's like Deathbird. She could be, of course, be playing either one of those characters. But I'll be honest, I'm mostly rooting for the character of Mystique, who is normally an X-Men villain and sometimes hero. For those of you who don't really know, Mystique actually debuted in Carol Danvers' Miss Marvel comics back in the late 70s, early 80s. I can't remember specifically when. But Chris Claremont, from all I can tell, kind of was gearing and preparing Mystique to be Carol's main arch villain. She was a planner and a schemer and putting things together, and you can see that kind of develop in Avengers Annual 10. And you know, once the Miss Marvel book was canceled, he simply moved the characters over to the X-Men book, which of course that was a successful book, and he wasn't going to have any problems with that. But I always feel a little disappointed that we never got the promise of Mystique being a villain, maybe even an arch villain for Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel, because she actually does make sense with Carol being like this powerhouse, to have like a schemer shapeshifter character be like your arch villain is actually really clever, and that really kind of fits together very nicely. And so of course we all know, anybody who has any like Marvel history knows that Mystique was working with Rogue, actually kind of mentoring and kind of like took Rogue under a wing and made her a villain, and they together attacked Carol, sapping her powers for that big arc. And that's something that fans have been kind of talking about doing. I would really like to see it, and here's one of those things. This is what I'd love to see, but if they don't do that, that's okay too. I'm not going to be mad that they didn't do the thing I wanted them to do, because I have no say in the thing. I'm just a fan. So it'd be really cool if that was generally the plan, that Mystique with Rogue, which is a nice way to introduce those characters into the MCU. They sap Carol of her powers, and she is aided by Monica and Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, which would actually be very cool. Actually, since we've been watching Monica and WandaVision, we've learned that there has something that has caused a rift between Monica and Carol over the last, a couple of years, however long it's been. They could have been like mad at each other before the snap, but after the snap, they seem kind of estranged, and I assume all that baggage will be taken care of in the Captain Marvel 2 movie, which would be cool, especially since Kamala's there, and you could see that's a kind of nice mix of a Monica who was like a little kid, really kind of inspired and really looking up to Carol as a kid. Now she's kind of grown like older and cynical, and her relationship with Carol has soured. And we have Kamala, who is a young kid inspired by Carol, who that's not happened. So that's kind of cool. Maybe we can see that kind of like mix, butt heads together. Maybe they can be two sides of Carol's support team in the movie, provided that's the story. But actually, that would be a really cool place to land Carol, like powerless at the beginning of Act 2, and she has these two women to deal with. But I see, whatever they're going to be planning, I think the real essential drama of whatever happened to Carol and Monica is going to be specifically the engine that drives it, and I'm really excited to see that. So whoever she could be playing, I'm just excited to see, this kind of come together. This is kind of really getting interesting, and it looks like it's going to take place in the present instead of another period film like, the 2000s or something like that. So I'm glad it's, kind of come up to speed. So those are kind of my feelings right now. I'm been eager to see what they're doing, and I'm getting more excited about all the news I've been seeing. Everything looks pretty good so far. So, hey, what do you think? Who do you think Ashton is going to be playing in the film? You can let me know in the comments below. You can click like, you can click notification bell, or subscribe to me if you've never done that before. You can do that and leave a comment below with your idea of who that could be. It could be Mystique, could be some other character that Carol is what. Here, I gotta say, I've been a fan of this character for quite a while now. Specifically since the Kelly Sue DeConnick first issue of Captain Marvel. I've been a big fan, and I've kind of retroactively gone back through her history. And I gotta say, one of the weaker points in the character is she doesn't have that strong of a villain gallery. She does have some villains here and there, but, she doesn't really have like a Green Goblin or a Joker or Lex Luthor type causing her a lot of problems. And I think it'd be cool if it was Mystique, then maybe that could also come back into the books, and maybe we could refocus on that relationship. At least, maybe. One could dream, anyway. All right, hey, I'm on several different social media things. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Got a TikTok at Justin Gristelli. And if you want to see what kind of comics I can make, go to manospublishing.com, and I have comics there in print and digital, Red Knight, and I even wrote a novel called DeVito, which is very, very not heroic. So, check those out if you like. I think that's it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.